Hi, I'm Bill Holcomb, and thanks for joining me for another beginner's step-by-step watercolor tutorial. Today, we are looking at how to create this monochrome coastal sunrise scene. Here's today's materials, and as you will see, there are only two colors required for this. Let's get started. I am starting with some clear water using a number 12 brush, and you can see in those palettes I've mixed up mixtures of the Winsor Blue and Paynes Grey, starting at the top, very intense, less water, then in the middle, medium, and then at the bottom there, much weaker. So we got a variation and of intensity, and this is quite an easy sky. We've laid that water down very much in the middle. There is the important point where we will need to preserve the light. We come down to the pencil line, the horizon level. Also, the drawing for this one is nice and simple. Pencil line, then that headland in distance, a little bit of indication of rocks on the shore there, closest to us. So, a light wash first of all, and then we get into more intensity. Still using a number 12, whatever you have available, a reasonable size. If a 10 would be fine or an 8. But if you've got those sizes, you might have to work a little bit faster because they'll carry less fluid. Once again, bring that down to the horizon level. Let it blend in. The important point in this one is control. You can see that I'm not constantly having to dip into the wells of pigment. I'm using as much as possible what is on my brush and what is already on the paper and using that and blending it. If I kept laying on more and more color, then it would run away from me. Then we've got our mop size brush, clear water over the whole of the ocean and the beach area. And then I'm just doing a little bit of blending there where the sky has met the pencil line, or it's gone over a little bit, just softening that area. Then we have the sort of medium mixture on the beach area using our number 12 brush. And whilst you're at that, you can also cover that headland area, as eventually that's going to be much darker with a misty effect at the base where it meets the water. Always have tissue to hand where you can dry off the brush, and you can use a fairly thirsty damp brush to mop up the edges, or you could use tissue. And now we're trying to sort of mirror image. We're trying to preserve that light area in the middle on the ocean from the rising sun. And this is on the east coast of Yorkshire. And one of my nephews, Frankie, lives in Yorkshire. And he posted some photos of the sunrise on the coast. So I decided to make use of those photos. When I lay down the various rocks on the beach area, the shoreline, I also use in part the scraping technique, the side of the brush, where I scrape the pigment onto the surface of the paper, which is rough textured, allows me to do this. And also you can see that I have the tissue to hand so that I can get the right amount on the brush. If I have too much, it wouldn't work so well. It wouldn't scrape so well, and you would lose control. So bring that up to the horizon level on the left-hand side. These rocks are a good opportunity to show a stark contrast between light and dark, more so even than in the sky and on the water, because they are very intense. You'll can see later that we darken them up here and there even more. Okay, we're quite a good way through the painting, over halfway. Nice, simple, easy painting to do. You can use something like a 7.5 by 5.5 size paper. So good for practice, and it's not as if you're wasting a large amount of paper. And here comes those much darker rocks now on the shoreline. And as you can see, they enable us to show a really nice contrast. And in reality, they were there anyway. So just play with those, scatter them about as much as you wish, but leave plenty of gaps here and there as well, so that there's a nice contrast between the lighter and the darker. And as always, I would mention that my board is always at an angle, sloping from the top to the bottom, about 10-15 degrees. Block of wood under the top of the board. And the paper's taped down all the way around on this occasion because it's 140-pound weight instead of 300. And it will stop it from buckling. Also, I do keep the paper each tutorial in the same place for you for ease of the video and tutorial. But you, of course, apart from when you're doing a wash of wet and wet, can choose to switch the paper around, such as now when I'm doing the various rock formations. Now that distant headland, we start with a sort of medium strength wash first of all. At the top, come down to the ocean. Use something like your number 6 brush. And then we can go to the smaller brush and start at the top of that headland with your darkest mixture and let it gently fuse in to the bottom. And as you can see, it is slightly running down the paper. As I mentioned, it's at an angle. And continue to do that, strengthen it up even more. And what I can do later, which you will see, with a thirsty brush, I can do some more lifting at the bottom. Just dry your brush that you've been painting with a tissue and make it just damp, so thirsty. And then it will soak up the pigment for you at the bottom of that headland to leave you a misty effect at the bottom where it meets the ocean. See, that's coming together quite nicely. Just a minute and a half approximately to go now. Dry that off with a hairdryer. And then I'm using a flat brush with some clear water at the horizon level to actually just dull that off and leave it a little bit more misty back there, so it's not so defined. You can, of course, also, when the paper is totally dry, if you've got any pencil line there, you could use that kneadable eraser to lift pencil marks. But this is working out quite nicely, and I'm doing the same again where that headland meets the water. Just always make sure that that tissue is ultra clean so you don't accidentally transfer any color. And here I am using that kneadable eraser across the painting. And here we have the finished painting, this monochrome painting of a Yorkshire beach. I hope you have a go at this one, and I look forward to seeing you next time.